Hey, everybody. Welcome to Don't Make Me Come Back There. We are a funny podcast about family. My name is Dustin Nickerson. I'm a stand-up comedian and the host of the aforementioned podcast. And alongside me, in her holiest of jeans and checkeredest of shirts.
I'm just like, I have to get rid of these.
Is my co-host and lovely wife, Melissa, who just had a...
This, right here. My hip.
Hey,
stuck.
cover that. This is not an OnlyFans.
My hip got stuck to a man's chair in the coffee shop.
Mel's trying to stay young and has some jeans with some holes. And the worst thing that can happen with a set of holy jeans happened is that it caught a man's chair. She got hooked
on the corner. Oh, I'm mortified.
But she's here now, everybody. The hole is it didn't rip any bigger. That would have been the worst case scenario.
That would have been the worst case scenario. Yeah. This was second worst case scenario.
Yeah. So, anyways, thanks for tuning in, everybody, to our little podcast that could hear. We are sitting above Public Square Coffee.
That's right.
Yeah. Cheers.
To us.
That's where you can find a little piece of black denim downstairs.
With my dignity.
If you come to downtown La Mesa, you just might have a co-host of a moderately successful podcast catch your jeans on your chair, Public Square.
It's so tight.
The pants?
No. That little space.
That little corridor. Down there. Yeah. Anyways. Guys, we got a lot to talk to you about today. We're going to do a weekend overshare, a trip to Grand Rapids and Milwaukee. And we're going to talk about airplanes. And we're going to talk about long division and math. We're going to talk about field day. We're going to talk about how it's graduation season. We're going to do a bingo dingo of the Spider-Verse. We're going to take some of your emails about what you guys do with cups in your homes in the cupboard, as we have a new AirPod drama. And
Fantastic.
That is, cupboard organization drama.
Did you just rename Weekend Recap?
What did I call it?
Weekend Overshare.
Oh, no, I didn't do that on purpose.
Okay, I just thought you casually renamed it.
No, I have, no,
like
Weekend Recap. No, that's because you're an overshare.
That's what I do on my weekend.
Hi, my name's Melissa. Here's my deepest pain. Oh, weather. Yes, I'm sorry. Weather, sports, our children's schedule.
Let me circle back.
Yeah. Let me tell you about how I helped raise my sisters.
Please understand me fully.
I need to feel that you understand me more than A, I can be understood, and B, I understand myself.
Ideally.
And if you don't, I will take it as a rejection and stew over it for many years. Welcome to our podcast, everybody. Some stuff going on. I'm on tour. This is coming out on June 7th, meaning next week I'm going to be in Chicago, Illinois on the 13th and the 14th, and Rosemont, Illinois on the 15th. June 16th and 17th, the Mic Drop Comedy Club here in San Diego. The 18th, we're going to be in Los Angeles, 2 shows. The second one sold out, so there's only tickets to the first show there.
Great.
21st, Orlando. 22nd, Tampa. 24th and 25th, Boston. 24th sold out, so only the 25th. 28th, Charlotte. 29th, Raleigh. And then when you get into July, I'm just going to do the cities. July, North Charleston, Asheville, Tacoma, Nashville, Atlanta, San Jose, Fresno. That sold out. I think we're going to add another one. That's August, San Jose, Fresno, Sacramento, Omaha, Milwaukee. We just added a second show in Minneapolis, Tulsa, Dallas, San Antonio. And then beyond is Houston, Oklahoma, Austin, Phoenix, Columbus, Cleveland, Cincy, Pittsburgh. Oh, and on sale now, Grand Rapids, next February. That's how far.
All right.
I just asked them to get on sale before I was there this last week, and I was handing out the flyers, and people saw the dates, February 22nd through 24th, and someone goes, "This was in the past." It's like, no, there's going to be a next February.
So a long ways out, but
yeah,
you got a plan.
Also, if you're not familiar, if you ever made it to the end of our podcast and you hear some special shout outs, that's because those are patrons that are highest level, $25 and up, are Essential as Oils patrons.
That's right.
But you can come at as low as $5 a month and get to do all kinds of fun stuff, all kinds of different levels. You can get some meet and greet, you can get some discounted merch, but everybody gets a Zoom hang, right?
10 and up.
10 and up.
Yep.
10 and up. Get the Zoom hang.
Monthly Zoom hang.
And that is coming up.
We have our June Zoom hang on Monday. June Zoom. Monday the 26th.
Monday the 26th.
June 26th.
There you go. And Melissa will be 40 when we do that one.
No.
Yeah, it's your birthday. You're 23rd.
I'll be 39.
Melissa will be 40.
Mm-mm.
Melissa will be 40.
No.
And I will remain 34. 6 years younger. It's gone from 6 months younger
forever.
to 38 forever. Also, if you are a patron on those and you're like, how do I coordinate my meet and greet, and you're on that level, then you got to message me through Patreon. That's the way to do that.
Yeah, I said Patron.
It makes it's easy to mix up.
Yeah.
So, also, this is fun. So, today, June 7th, is the 1-year anniversary of How to Be Married to Melissa.
Woo!
How about that, huh? Published a book. Made it a
Mm-hmm.
whole year. It is it's fairly well reviewed.
No, it is.
Yeah, no, we it's crazy. It's crazy to have a book out. And I was looking at the post, and I remember when they reached out to us. Jonathan Merritt, my literary agent, reached out and was like, hey, have you ever thought about publishing a book? And I said, I have one idea. As a matter of fact, he's been trying to get us to do more books. And I'm like, but I had the one idea.
Right.
I could write about my wife and my marriage, because that's all I am qualified to write about. This is the one thing that I know. He's like, a marriage book? I was like, no, just a book about our marriage. So that's fun. It's like I was in a Barnes & Noble this week, and it's like, it was there, and you're like, oh, cool. That's awesome. That feels still feels fun. I think it feels more cool just as an achievement the further you get away from it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
When you give some space. And
you get a lot of you get a lot of like no's in the industry. I mean, some of us do. The majority of people do. They get a lot of no's.
Yes.
And then so when you get a bunch of yeses, which a lot of yeses kind of have to happen for a book to happen. You know, it has to, like, the agent has to agree to it, and the proposal you sign off on, and then somebody has to buy it, and then they have to, and then through the editors, there's just a lot of yeses, and then approve it. It just takes a long time. Books are
slow.
I mean, that's the preface in Narnia, where he wrote it for his nephews, I think, and he said, like, this was meant for you guys, but children grow faster than books.
Yeah.
You know? And it's true. So anyways, if you haven't checked it out, you can get it at a lot of local bookstores. Do that option first. And if you want it to be more convenient, I respect the heck out of that. You can go to Amazon.com, where they only sell books. That's what Amazon does. They are a book website. That's all they sell.
That's neat.
It's neat. It's a little up and coming thing, and they've got a thing called the Nook that people really like. No, they weren't the Nook. I think that was
actually
Barnes & Noble.
Borders or Barnes & Noble.
Yeah. Borders.
I forgot about Borders.
Yeah.
One of those.
Rest in peace, Borders.
Yeah.
We used to make out in Borders.
Nice. I used to use the bathroom in Borders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't make out in the bathroom because gross.
A lot of people like the audio book as well.
Yeah, that's true.
The Audible.
People be listening to books.
That's right.
So anyways, check that out. Still fun. Anyways. It's a lot of it's banned in a lot of schools. DeSantis just took it out. I can't believe DeSantis took it out, you know. But this is a hard book to get in Florida, is what I'm saying. It used to be, it was a normal part of the sex ed curriculum, but DeSantis he took it out. You know, it's the only book to be banned in Florida and Connecticut randomly. I don't know. It's just I don't know. All
press is good press.
All press is good press. All right. Let's dive into it, everybody. Let's do a little weekend recap. This weekend I was out with up and coming, you probably haven't heard of her yet. She's on the rise. She's got a bright future, Taylor Tomlinson. It's just, I'm like, every weekend, it's just more and more people recognizing you. And it's pretty cool. It's really going to her head, too. Just the arrogance on this woman. I'm just kidding. We were in Grand Rapids for so long. when we booked this week, I remember, so the weekend before I was in Des Moines, and then I added like a little one-nighter fundraiser gig out in Portland, and I was like, that'll be fine because the shows in Grand Rapids don't start till Thursday. And
It was Memorial Day
no,
weekend.
actually, originally it was Friday, and then they added a Thursday, and then a second Friday, and then they added a Wednesday. And Grand Rapids isn't as easy to get to as it sounds like it, and it's not. It didn't even sound easy to get to, and it's even harder than that. Grand Rapids is a pain to get to, so we went on
Should've just
Tuesday.
Stayed in Iowa.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we were there, and we got there Tuesday. We were in Grand Rapids Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night. 4 nights in Grand Rapids. Felt like a year.
Yeah.
All due respect to Grand Rapids. And just staying in the
a
same
long time.
hotel for 4
Yeah.
nights is hard.
Mhm.
And,
For work.
And then we drove to Milwaukee for 2 nights. And then came home. Grand Rapids is very, Grand Rapids is cute. It's cute. It's a cute little place.
Especially in June.
It's hot.
Is it?
It was pretty hot.
Yeah.
But they were telling me it had snowed 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
Because spring needs to get
Unpredictable.
Spring needs to decide who it is. Right?
Yeah, it's an identity crisis.
Spring has an identity crisis every year. Spring is that kid that just like wears a different outfit each week, and you're like, just be who you want to be, man. But they don't know yet. Spring doesn't know who it wants to be yet. And plus, it's bookended. Like, I mean,
the worst
having
and best seasons.
having summer as your older brother is like, I mean, and winter as your younger brother. I mean, spring has no hope. Those are the two coolest seasons. Being next to them, spring might be the worst season.
Don't come at me that like fall's your favorite.
No, I know. I think okay. What's your rank your seasons? Ranking the seasons? I am fall favorite. I'm not. You know me.
I just love fall.
I'm fall. I'm
kidding.
fall, summer, winter, and I love all three of those. Those are Grape's second favorite. This is the Regan bit. I ranking my seasons. I'm fall. Gosh, summer gets so hot. It's no holiday. I mean, get fourth, which is like a mid holiday. I'm gonna go. It's different because we live in a warm climate.
Right. We don't really have seasons.
this is within margins.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just hard seasons.
It's
yeah.
what context that you. I think universally, we all agree that spring is the worst season, though.
I actually like spring.
You don't like spring at all. You hate the inconsistent weather. It's the longest stretch. It's the hardest stretch of school.
No, summer is the hardest.
No,
There's no school.
Melissa. May is spring.
I
you can
totally
leave during
agree
summer.
with you. I agree with what you're saying, but like spring is just like no crazy weather. Like
It's the craziest weather.
No like winter storms and no scorching summers.
No,
but actually, our summer weather's in the fall.
That's only because you live. That's only because you live in San Diego. Most people who live in other, they are glad that winter is ending.
Yes,
but that's one of the hard things about spring is you're just like it snowed 3 weeks ago in Grand Rapids, and it was 96 when we were there.
Yeah. I don't think we're allowed to talk about this living in San Diego.
Yeah,
I think we have to leave the chat.
Well, I am allowed to because I go somewhere different every weekend. And so I'm going to give you the definitive ranking of the seasons. Are we ready?
Yes.
Summer's the best. I'm not going to be cute and act like summer's not the best. Summer is the number one season.
Okay.
It goes summer, winter, fall, spring. That's it.
Okay.
And if you do anything else, you're trying to be cute. You're trying to be interesting. But it is clearly the best.
See, and I was only going to put spring up top because...
To be interesting?
No, because the rain and cold of the winter, and then like the dread of the children all not doing anything.
This is so regional, because if you live in the Northwest, I would say winter dead last.
Yes.
The winter is the worst season in the Northwest.
Or it's like Arizona in the summer, like Phoenix in the summer.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be low.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Andy?
Yeah.
I had the same ranking as you.
Yeah.
As I was thinking about it and growing up and living in California my whole life.
Yeah.
So that's that's definitely how I rate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you rank it when we lived in the Northwest?
winter would be very low.
Yeah.
And summer would be first because the summer is beautiful in the Northwest, like July, August, September.
And then fall probably.
And then fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the Northwest doesn't have a spring.
Yeah.
They just have a continued winter.
Ranking, if I were to rank the seasons from when I lived in Seattle, it would be summer, fall, spring, death, winter.
Yeah.
I would die before I go through another winter there.
I truly say it, like, they don't have spring.
Yeah.
Like, Easter is pouring rain.
Always.
And you're like, huh.
It literally rains on parades in Seattle.
Every baseball game gets canceled. Like, for rain. So they don't get spring. But
that's true.
The summer is so beautiful. It deceives you every year.
Well, this actually, this ties into one of the things that I wanted to say. Here's a little pop quiz. I don't know if you guys know this. In the state of Wisconsin, did you know that 7 of the 10 drunkest cities in America are all in the state of Wisconsin? And 15 of the top 20 are in Wisconsin.
Oh my gosh. I've never been.
They have a phrase. It's called drink Wisconsinbly is how they say it.
Wisconsinbly?
Drink Wisconsinbly. It's like on merch and stuff. And my theory...
How do the doctors feel about this?
I don't know.
The Wisconsin doctors.
Their pockets are probably stuffed.
Yeah.
Of taking care of that.
Yeah. I would think
loaded.
I would think that they have such their job is so hard it probably leads them to drinking.
Yeah.
My theory on it though is because Wisconsin weather is so extreme
difficult
that it leads them to almost like a wartime behavior. Where in the winter, they're drinking to survive the war. Yeah. And then in the summer, they're drinking to celebrate the end of the war. That's my theory.
This is actually how I feel about...
That checks out, right?
It does check out.
This is why Wisconsin is so drunk.
Feast and famine.
Yeah.
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 This is actually how I feel about...
Celebration and sorrow. Either way, cheers. The Wisconsin way. They are the friendliest drunks I've ever met, though.
Yeah.
That's Wisconsin has the friendliest drunks. I've never seen any aggression from them. Like when they drunk and heckle you, it's very positive. They're
Midwest.
like, keep going.
Evolution.
That one missed, but try again next time.
They're nice.
You've got something. I believe in you. It's like a drunk parent that gets very supportive. And you say you had a theory.
Well, no, I just immediately when you said that, I am very aware that our lifestyle is feast and famine in the sense that I'm solo parenting and then it's celebratory when you're in town. And so you have to like really we saw a Monday night movie because we wanted to see the movie with you. Yeah. And that's not a weekend.
Yeah. We got home. Gloria's like, I have homework.
And we're like, get in the car, going to a movie.
You're like, it's June. Homework doesn't matter now.
But the
grades are set.
The point being, like, I went to like 5 events this weekend, and there's like drinking and desserts and all this. Yeah. But then you come home Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah. Monday through Wednesday this week. Yeah. And drinking, desserts. Yeah. Like the
and we're
point
like,
being,
we want to have a drink and watch. I think you should leave. We got stuff to catch up on.
The point being. That's like Wisconsin.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have to
take
times to have moderation and feast and famine.
Yeah, no, that 100% checks out. Not tonight.
A comic is like Wisconsin. Yeah. There we go.
Drink Wisconsinbly. It doesn't flow as well as I want it to, but...
Well, because you haven't drank enough to say it.
Yeah, drink Wisconsinbly. I think you're right. I think with a slur, Wisconsinbly comes out way easier.
This sounds like Uncle Butch's everything in moderation.
Even
moderation.
Even moderation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jared Freed had a really funny tweet the other day. Jared Freed's a really funny comic, and he had every Sunday is a choice: 10,000 steps or 10,000 calories.
You gonna go out with a bang?
That's the most accurate depiction of a Sunday. Well, like it's gonna be one extreme or the other.
Brunch or hike?
Yeah, exactly.
First day of the week or last day of the week?
I'm gonna feel great or awful at work tomorrow, but whatever it is, I'm gonna feel strong. It's gonna be a strong feeling. Well, speaking of the end, we are almost it's almost. I mean, I think summer's almost here. Summer break. I don't know. Has solstice happened yet?
No, that's mid-June.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never know because I'm in and out of different time zones. Everyone's like, this hour really messed me up. I'm like, die. Shut up. Get over it. I don't.
Mercury's in retrograde.
Yeah. I'm Kang the Conqueror, baby. I live outside of time. Time doesn't affect me. I'm anywhere, everywhere, all at once. I'm not. I am. Jeez, a little. Oh my gosh. I didn't take on Yahweh's term over here, but.
Well, don't you think Kang was God?
Yeah, they all kind of. I am it at some point, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, a couple things of note there. It's the end of third grade, which means it's long division time.
Yeah.
Which means I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what's this calculator doing right here in my pocket? Got it. Thank you. Which leads to my theory. You just don't need to teach kids how to do this manual anymore. I don't think it's important.
Well,
I don't.
I'm not like stressed out about it.
Right.
But my mom told me that they introduce these concepts at the end of the year so that when they see them in fourth grade, they like have some, it doesn't freak them out.
Right.
They remember looking at it.
They remember looking at it. Again, this is not, it's not really a bit, and I'm not trying to like, at a certain point, you do have to evaluate the education system in the modern era and go, what skills do they need here? Like if someone needed the argument, made the argument, and they're like, hey, you need to teach them this so that they can learn how to critically think and think mathematically. Yeah. Okay, great. I'll get on that. But at a certain point, you have to go, these aren't valuable skills in the world anymore. Like knowing how to do math by hand is not a valuable skill anymore. There's no job that requires that.
They took out cursive handwriting. Cursive handwriting. I mean, people still do it, you know. Claire got like a packet sent home. Like we're like, what? But at the start of the year, but like, cursive is not in public education anymore.
Well, and millennials were we were kind of the buffer where there was a season where we did need those skills. Cursive.
Write a check.
Yeah.
I gotta stop.
Yeah, there was a where you would also have to read it sometimes. Like, there was a season of life where things like cursive and having to do math by hand, like stuff like that, still did exist. But it just doesn't exist anymore. Like, I mean, it's that old meme, but you're not always going to have a calculator in your pocket. You're like, yeah, you are.
Yeah,
100%.
That's fantastic.
You're going to have a calculator in your pocket. You're going to have a compass in your pocket.
Yeah.
You're going to have you don't need to learn how to read a map. It's not important anymore.
Google will read it for you.
Google will read it for you.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I mean, I'll say the exception. Like, it depends. Like, Yellowstone doesn't have much service. Like, I just recently heard this. Too.
Right.
Like, I had some friends who went there, and they needed printed maps.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they
or what? What would happen? Would they die?
I mean, you could if you can't get around.
Yeah. If you're not
can't find yourself in the world, it's an existential crisis.
No, I don't.
You know, Dustin, they have like wilderness camps. For kids.
Great. I think this is called Boy Scouts, right? I'm not saying that there isn't a time and a place where that might be kind of like a fun party trick.
Like making origami.
Yeah. I mean, how often do you need to know which way is west?
Yeah.
Do you ever?
I think only if you're coastal. If you're coastal, I think it matters if you know which direction the beach is from like an orientation point of view. I mean, I think about that a lot. If I'm driving somewhere and I don't want to pull out my map, and I kind of know where I'm supposed to
look
go.
At the landmarks.
If I know what direction the beach is, which is just west, then I can orient myself anywhere.
Right.
So I mean, that's helpful.
So 1% of America needs it. Got it. Yeah. And the other in the middle of the country knows based on the sun rising, which I haven't seen that in years. So that's
except on airplanes.
On airplanes.
Once we find out aliens have an EMP and they're going to come down here and wipe out all tech, then we'll have this conversation.
Yeah. Well, not on this podcast, we won't. There's no one to listen to it. I don't know. I think
when you get like your VR goggles, they're going to tell you which direction west is.
Yeah.
So
I think
when Google, issues those out to all of us,
I think
we
that
should be fine.
If I were to try and be like, hey, what do you need an 18-year-old to know? Like math-wise, if we're just going to go math, I'd be like, teach them Excel. That would teach them Excel.
I made my son, so he's selling vintage clothes online, and I made him, he doesn't have to make a profit and loss statement yet, but I made him download a Google Sheet and write out when he gets paid and when it processes and when I pay him, and because he's a little underage for these PayPal, and I don't want to anyway. But I'm making him like, you keep track of this.
You got to track that. Yeah, that's what I mean.
How much this shirt cost you? How much you sold it for?
And that's teaching him software, and that's important. Mm-hmm. But the math in that he learned in second grade.
It's true.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just the critical thinking stuff.
I would take. Higher level. At that point, I would just take him straight to a finance app. Forget Excel. If you're trying to teach them small business, there's literally countless apps for maintaining your finances. Why you didn't start with Excel?
That's Mel the long use division. Any of them. Mel's like, what apps are you on?
Long division of apps.
No, I would say just have wealth and have a CPA is what I would say. Just
my business manager takes care of everything.
Yeah.
Well, Corey over in room 218, he manages all my finances and plot.
You do need to, and this is where a math teacher is probably screaming at me right now.
Yes.
And I'm agreeing with you that they would say, because I don't know anything about educational theory or the development of, they're saying, no, you have to teach them this so they understand the concept of division, of numbers going into other numbers. Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So like our son just did geometry, which I think goes hand in hand with chemistry, which goes hand in hand with like philosophy, because it's all like proofs. Whoa. And if this is this, then this is this. Whoa. And so I think it's just a way of thinking. Yeah. Like that is helpful. So it's all baby steps.
What's the Aaron Weber told me this recently. We were talking about in the terms of comedy, where, because we were saying, I said the best comedy cities are a political colored dot that's the opposite of the state around it. So a red and a blue, or a blue and the red. So like Orange County is great because it's a red and a blue state. Yeah. Or Des Moines is great because it's a blue and a red state. Stuff like that. Like those Chicago, blue and a red state. Those are the best comedy cities in America because they are familiar with a lot of ideas. There's not a lot of groupthink going on there. And which is why like some of the other, too conservative or too liberal can be just a little uptight one way or the other. And Aaron said the definition of, Socrates said the definition of an educated person is being able to entertain an idea they don't agree with. And I think that that's kind of what we're getting at, of like, oh, you can think critically on something. You can understand, you can put a thing in its context. You can try and understand it, I actually without agreeing it.
Our son he's 16 now. And it's amazing how like the top has been blown off, like for like ethical conversations. Yeah. And we just anything you're like ethically, like he's looking at that atomic bomb movie that's coming out, Oppenheimer, and we were talking about that, and it was like, oh my gosh, like you're mature enough to actually dialogue and care, and like reason and stuff. So that's like a great new place to be as a parent, like because it's more than just taking or giving. It's like he's really thinking deeply and critically, which is pretty cool.
That side note, that Oppenheimer, that Oppenheimer movie,
not sure.
that upcoming Oppenheimer movie is such a nice. The Oppenheimer movie is such a snapshot of what it's like to be a middle-aged male, because I saw the preview and I'm like, yes, World War II movie, yes. And then I saw the runtime of 3 hours and I'm like, ugh, I'm gonna have to pee so much.
No drinks.
You're like, I'm gonna have to probably, I don't know if I can see that in the theater because I'm gonna miss some key dialogue.
What did I miss?
Yeah, middle-aged male, you're like, Christopher Nolan, Cillian Murphy. These are the things that we love.
This one's for you, guys.
3 hours in the same chair, my back. Ooh, I don't know if I can do it. But anyways.
That's why old movies had intermissions.
Yeah. I would bring back intermissions at movies, please.
The intermissions in Europe were amazing.
Amazing.
Because everybody was seated during the show.
Yeah, they are used to them.
Yeah.
Bring back intermissions.
And then they go outside and smoke.
Yeah, but, there's a theater, at least in Vista, I'm not sure elsewhere, that the kids' theater does a break in the middle of a kids' movie, and there's a playground inside the theater.
Wow.
It's like in a rec pool when they get potty break.
Pee breaks, yeah. Yeah, listen, movie theaters, you're dying. Idea number 1, bring back intermissions. I have to pee. That's the main reason I don't want to go to a movie, actually, is you have to choose. We saw a movie last night, and I came back.
You came back and said, what did I miss?
Yeah, and it was important.
You did miss stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You ever do that when you then watch a movie later, and you're like, oh, I missed this whole scene?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. This is, I don't know if I was thinking about this because we're at the end of the school year.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, there was just, I get like, it's like put a smile on my face thinking about it. When I was a kid, field day was the day that I was most sure God was real.
Yeah, I think if you're athletic, this concept, they're like, get in this line.
Yeah.
And then take the sponge and run it down there and run back.
Yeah.
And you are running as fast as you possibly can. And you're just so happy that these adults organize these activities for you to do.
Yep.
And you're not sitting in a desk.
You were pain-free.
Fantastic.
Your dog didn't die. You just, your parents were still together. You were just running through that field, and everything was right in the world. You knew it was so pure. Field day was so pure.
I just want to get back to that feeling.
Field day. That therapy needs to end with feeling like field day. That's when
they hand you a popsicle.
An Otter Pop. That's what field day. Field day was the best parts of school and none of the bad parts, plus Otter Pops. It was incredible.
Yeah, you're sweating. It's hot.
And you were young.
You're so happy.
You were young.
You were wearing like Keds.
Yeah.
Like just like flat tennis shoes.
Oh my gosh, you weren't dressed well for the part. And now you're an adult.
Jean shorts.
And you don't get to have Otter Pops. You have to have the different flavored LaCroix. Which is like
is an Otter Pop.
LaCroix is an adult Otter Pop. You're like, oh.
This one's orange.
I used to feel alive. I used to be carefree in this world.
I used to drink Kool-Aid. Now I drink LaCroix.
I used to see how far I could throw an egg to my friend.
Oh, that was the closer.
Yes.
The closer
egg toss.
was the egg or water balloon toss.
I used to tie my leg to the leg of a cute girl who I'd had a crush on all year. And we would race around the playground. And we would win.
If you could get a rhythm going.
And love was real. And life was worth living for. Field day.
Oh.
I miss it
so good. So we used to help at field day at our kids' elementary school. And it was K through second grade. And
we had ring toss.
Creature of habit. We had frisbee toss.
Yeah.
We did the frisbee toss.
I loved it.
For like
fun.
10 years.
Yeah. I was there for half of them.
You get hit with some frisbees.
Worth it.
But it's fantastic.
Ugh.
A lot of kids don't know how to throw frisbees, which is pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But frisbee is basic enough, and you and I have enough athletic skill that we explained it pretty fast here. But
I mean, the kids are fighting about the lines the whole time.
Right.
The whole time.
Yeah. This is like this is a golf analogy, so you might not get it, but like field day is so there's like this old common trope when you golf. Like, you can play a terrible round, and then you get, like, a birdie on 18, and then you're like, I love golf. I'm going to come back.
You're hooked again.
And that's why they put field day late in the year, because the kids are like, I like school.
Yeah.
I remember field day. I had a good experience towards the end there. That's why they got to make school easy at the end. Otherwise, the kid just won't come back next year.
The grades are done. The classroom's packed up.
Yeah.
So our daughter is aged out of field day at our elementary school. So instead, on that day, they said, "Hey, we're having a picnic. It's at 9:30. The pizza's coming at 11:30.
They're just gonna go have a day in a field.
You ready? You ready?
Yeah.
And you can come and take your kid home afterwards."
Oh, thank you.
Can I? Can I?
Thanks so much. They need to do, you know what they should do? At schools.
Thank you, third grade teachers. Yeah. Cool.
If our kid went to a private school and we like paid tuition.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to ask for this in public school.
I mean, because we don't pay property taxes.
God bless. Yeah. God bless public school teachers. Underfunded.
Overworked.
It's tough. This is not a political statement, ladies and gentlemen. There's no left, right. There's only top, bottom, and we're all bottoms. But if our kid went to a private school, I'd be like, adult field day. Everything that you do for the kids, I want at the end too. I want a graduation. I want my kid graduated from second grade. Where's my ceremony?
Your hat?
Where are my little cut up sandwiches?
Do you want a money lay?
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, just give me like a raffle or something. Get us all together. Or there should be like listen, if you want to be more popular with the parents, you know how there's like classroom currencies? Give some out to the parents.
That'll get the kids there on time.
Yeah, you know. Miss Brown, we had fourth grade, we had tokens, little blue tokens. You could get a token. And I saved up one year. I did a whole year without, which goes against everything I stand for as an impulsive person.
Yeah. I can't believe you did that.
And I bought the sombrero.
Just for the gag.
I dropped like 300 tokens because I was a good kid. I got a lot of tokens. And I was like, I'm getting that sombrero.
You know the dumbest thing I did with one of those?
What?
I bought the umbrella hat.
Yeah, same thing. We bought the ridiculous hat.
And I thought it was so cool, and then nobody thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I was like, I got it.
Yeah. Oh man, that is funny. I remember I actually was pretty good at saving up because my 5th, 6th grade year, I had the same teacher and I knew I was going to. So I rolled over. I didn't spend 1 year at the end of 5th grade. So I had all my 5th grade and 6th grade money going.
Where did all this executive functioning come from?
I'm actually kind of a natural born saver. You know that. Like I don't spend a lot of money. Like, you know that. I don't know why you're laughing. You spent
Oh, stop
I'm not being ironic right here.
That's just the trope.
Yeah, no,
women purchase the stuff.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't mean it like you are the big spender. You're buying the groceries. Neither of us are big spenders, but I like to accumulate funds and
that's true, you do.
Yeah, and so you'll be like, "Do you want to see you're gross. I'm like, no, net only, baby. What are the accounts at? That's what I want to know. And I just mopped up one year, but I didn't get big. I remember I'd be like, I'm getting that candy. I want that Griffey poster. I want the globe. I bought a globe.
You're like,
yeah.
Can
I just walked out. Yeah, I was like, I need a wheelbarrow.
Amazing.
To get my earning. People were kind of mad. Wow. And I actually think Miss Nat might have cut me off.
Did you rig the system?
You know, I'm sorry.
The classroom currency.
Sorry that I was a savvy 5th and 6th grader. And I'm making it rain in K-Bucks over here.
Oh, we had Eichelbucks.
Eichelbucks.
His last name was Eichelbosch. Yeah.
That's funny. My sister, she had Mr. Engelbertson, something like that. They had Engelbucks.
Engelbucks. Just like whatever bucks.
They really dug deep there on those.
I just did our last name.
Yeah, you got to be careful with our last name. That's it's my most known.
It doesn't work.
It's my it's my most known bit for a reason because it's delicate. It's a Damien Rice song. It's just that it's delicate. 12-4.
Andy, did you buy any hats?
Did you buy a ridiculous hat?
Well, no. The big thing was if you went to a birthday to a restaurant called Chevy's, in which you would get a sombrero if you went there.
Sombrero.
All I had to do was to go to Chevy's.
Yeah, all you had to do was have a birthday at a Mexican restaurant.
Unbelievable.
Get yourself a sombrero.
That's probably where she got it.
Yep. Probably. Smart teacher, just recycling.
Yeah, 2 years of Eichelbucks.
K-Bucks. All right. Well, that was fun. Let's do a bingo dingo of Into the Spider-Verse 2.
Yeah.
Have you seen it yet, Andy?
No, not yet.
We saw it last night. Some people, I'm not saying this is an exaggeration. It's currently one of the highest rated movies of all time.
Oh, that's great.
It's like 95 and 96 on Rotten Tomatoes, like critic and...
It's crazy high.
I'm not going to hype it like that for you guys because I'm going to be as honest as I can right now. It was heavily hyped for me, and that did affect
your viewing.
My viewing of it.
As did the same.
As it did
Whatever
yours.
I'm trying to say.
We'll talk. We can talk a little bit about it. I'm going to just kind of. I want to like cleanse the palate a little bit of it for me, and then maybe watch it again when it comes out on streaming, or like maybe even go see it again with Joel when I'm on the road, or maybe the family or something. Because I'm like, it was just. I mean it. And, Stephen English hyped it so much, and it's like, that's why we fired him for you, Andy. It's just, he's like that. He's just a deceitful, lying person. Stephen texted me, and he goes,
it's the poster right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephen texted me, he said, it's the best Marvel movie of all time. And maybe the best, and the best animated movie, and maybe the best Marvel movie of all time. Like, perfect, I want to go see it again. And that's because he has AMC stubs. He's got that kind of money, but he's got that escrow money. But it was really, really good. It just got so hyped that I don't know how to, I don't know. Have you thought about it more since we saw that?
I think it was, like, beautiful.
Yeah.
And, like, they do this thing where they slap a comic book down for each character, which is so there's just so many like little nods and Easter eggs.
If you love comic books, I read comic books every day, like you feel like you're in a comic book, and that's what's so great about this.
Absolutely, like you're falling through a comic book.
Yeah, it's great.
So the experience
is very fun.
Is amazing.
Yeah.
And I do think it's a theater film.
Yeah.
Like at least the first time you should see it in theater because it's so fun and exciting. I did like the soundtrack better in the first one.
Yeah.
I felt like that was a little sad for me because I loved the soundtrack in the first one. It's
Which
fun
there's probably people who like this soundtrack more.
Yeah, that's just a personal preference.
Right.
It's fun for us because like when the first one came out, Joel was a 6th grader.
Right.
Like, right about 5th, 6th grade. And now Miles is his age.
Yeah.
He's a teenager.
Yeah.
And so that's like just fun as a parent and child. I did joke with Andy, like Miles doesn't have siblings. And it shows. because like in our households, like one person's personal like dilemmas,
crises.
Like it's kind of a 3-person movie. Like with the parents and Miles, and they're at a party and stuff, and And in our house, that's like chaos.
Yeah.
Like everyone, what do you need? Do you
Every
need a
day's
drink?
party
Like,
in our house. Yeah.
and so they wouldn't be able to focus so much on Miles.
That's funny.
If he was,
Yeah.
if he had siblings.
Yeah.
Which I just, as a parent, kind of made me laugh.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if any of the universes, Miles or Peter has siblings. Because, you know, he's an orphan. Peter usually, he usually doesn't have parents,
That's true.
Yeah, listen, it's a great movie. I think I was so pleasantly surprised and taken aback by how good the first one was that I was more overwhelmed by the first one. I was totally
I agree with you there.
Caught off guard by the first one. I was like, oh, Spider-Man animated movie. And then you're like, that's the best Spider-Man movie ever. And you know what? The new one might be the best Spider-Man movie ever. It's right there. I will still say this confidently. There are... Oh, gosh, it's hard to rank Spider-Man movies, but the two animated ones are both in the top 5. That's, to me, undebatable. There's Spider-Man 2, which is great. There's the most recent Spider-Man. I always mix up the Homecoming.
Return to Home.
Homecoming was the first one. Far From Home was the second one.
Mm-hmm. And then...
Back Home?
Homeward Bound.
Homeward Bound.
Way Back Home?
The ending of
the
that
one with all the
good.
That's what I'm saying. The one
the third Home one.
Yeah, the third Home.
No Way Home?
No Way Home.
That's it?
No Way Home. That sounds right. Yeah, that is right. Yeah, No Way Home. That movie was such a pleasant movie-going experience because it was what it reminded me of was Lego Batman, where you're like, this is a love letter to Spider-Man fans. Thank you for hanging in on this franchise for decades, which Spider-Verse is too.
Yeah.
I think it was great. Here's what's really, really good about it. The parenting teen stuff is good. Like, really, really good.
Yeah.
Like the most heart in the movie to me. And, that's what's great about these Spider-Verse movies is they really are truly, like, this is for everybody. Like, your whole family will enjoy this. There's slapstick that the little kids will like.
Yes.
There's teenage, and that's why Spider-Man is the best character in the Marvel universe because
he's not an adult yet.
Because he's a teenager.
Yeah.
Because he's and so your kids like it. And Miles, and that's why Miles was such a popular character immediately in the comic books. It was just kind of more modern teen.
You know what's funny too is like our teenage daughter, like they like him.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my gosh, Miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miles is so cool.
a heartthrob.
Well, yeah. Miles is cool. Miles is a cool character, So I think it's great. I mean, it's what do we do? 5?
5 out of 5.
It's a pure 5 out of 5 dingoes for me.
Yeah.
I would just say temper expectations. Nothing should be told. This is the best burrito you're ever going to have. No one should be told that before they have that.
Especially not us. Don't overhype something for us.
Yeah.
We will. That just ruins it for us.
I know.
But I still loved it. 5 out of 5.
It's great. It's great. I think that this is one of those.
Don't overhype it. 5 out of 5.
Well, I think
great.
I
just didn't overhype it. So
I think that this is going to be one of those movies that over time I appreciate even more.
I think the second watch, I'm going to like it even more.
I also...
Yeah. I was also really tired in the theater.
Yeah. It was a travel
long
day.
Weekend. Yeah.
All right, let's do a couple emails. This is from Claude.
Hi, Claude.
Subject, the cup system. Hello, Dustin and Melissa. I very much enjoy your podcast and Dustin's comedy specials. Thank you. Runs in the Family, available on YouTube right now. If I ever aspire to be a clean comedian, I will begin to shower 5 times a day. Hey-o. Perhaps it isn't the correct way to manage cups, but having the cups in the cupboard without the tops installed and then the tops stored in a separate bin or drawer is the most common way. Eventually, the abundance of cups and tops will become overwhelming and you will spend time trying to match up cups to tops, and the ones that cannot be matched will end up getting thrown out. You will even look at a perfectly good cup that never gets used, that it has a top, but because it never gets used, it will get thrown out. Shortly after this happens, you will want to drink and go to the cupboard, but all of the drinking glasses and tops will be dirty, and you will wish that you had kept a cup without a top rather than having to wash a drinking glass. It is just the way that things are.
I love how pragmatic Claude is.
Claude is very pragmatic. And then he threw another joke in it. Have you ever wondered why blueberries are blue?
No.
It's because they spent too much time with the sour grapes. Heyo. Thanks again for doing the podcast. I look forward to listening to you each week. Thanks, Claude. Appreciate the email, Claude.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is.
Looking forward to the house
yeah.
kitchen I walk into where there's going to be like a bar where it's like the top shelf.
Yeah.
And they have all the cups just arranged on the
hilarious
kitchen that lost the cat.
All right, one more. And keep sending us these emails at dontmakemecomebackthere@gmail.com. We want to hear about your cup system.
Mm-hmm.
This one is from Blake.
Hi, Blake.
Subject, cup organization, Team Dustin.
Okay.
Here we go, Blake. Hey, Dustin and Melissa and Andy. He's still a little new.
Yeah.
That's I wanted to chime in and let Dustin know that he is not alone in his ideal cup storage system. How he described it last week in regards to letting the cups dry with the lids slightly off and then putting them away together is exactly how we do it in our house.
Just going around putting lids on.
Yeah. Despite my wife's slight obsession with coffee tumblers, we have never had a lid that did not have a home. Wow. You always know
one
where
child.
You always know where everything is. Also, before Melissa starts imagining how we can only make this happen on our sprawling amount of counterstop space, because you did already disregard this.
Yes.
You should know that we have an incredibly small kitchen.
I will out small kitchen you.
I don't know. When did some remodeling, we bought one 10-foot piece of butcher block and had to cut over a foot off. The counter is also the permanent home to a stand mixer, a crock pot, and an espresso machine. So it's not wide open, but we still can make this method work. That's a tight counter. Yeah. So all that to say, Dustin is not crazy, at least not in this context. Give this method a try and see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? Also, completely unrelated, I'm writing this in the middle of the night as we are up trying to get our 2-year-old to stay in her bed because she just started climbing out of her crib. Any bad parenting advice for how to address it? Any help is greatly advised. 2-year-old to stay in their bed. Well, do you want what we did with our oldest kid, where we bed trained them, or our youngest kid who's 9,
she was in her bed last night,
who I still lay next to my 9-year-old until she falls asleep? So I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Just both options are bad.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
My theory on this, on bed training, is on, before we get to the cup system. Don't roll your eyes at me. I will. I'm just as much a parent as you are.
I will.
I'm
kidding.
It's the same as potty training. They will learn eventually. It's how much of a rush are you in? Yeah. You don't need to rush that kid on the potty training or the bed training unless you want to. If you want to
die on that hill,
there are methods. There are methods that people will tell you about sitting there and just you put them back and you walk away and you put it back and you just keep doing emotionless. Don't give them a hug. Throw them in there like a trash. And whatever your thing is. And if you want to do that because that's important to you, then do that. But your kid will stop sleeping with you in a bed eventually, and they will stop because for whatever reason. It's like our 9-year-old doesn't know how to tie her shoes yet. And this summer, she wants to expand her fashion a little bit. She's like, I should learn. And you're like, great, we'll teach you when you want to learn. It's like our kids, same with riding bikes, you know. They'll learn when socially they have the motivation to learn. It's a lot easier, you know. Mm-hmm. When Melissa and I started dating, 19, she still peed her pants. But when she wanted to be in an adult relationship, but Mel was like, before I get married, I have to be potty trained.
That's because you made me laugh so hard.
Oh, that was really sweet. On our wedding night, I walked into Mel.
Really?
We had just celebrated our young love of being together a few times.
What are you doing?
And I remember I walked into the bathroom, and when you're going to the bathroom, and you're like, no, don't come in. And I'm like, what? After everything we had just done? This is where we draw the line?
What? How did we get? We were talking about cribs.
You know what's a really funny thing, cups. Andy, that our kids do right now? Is...
What?
Sometimes I'll when I'm on the road,
I'll
FaceTime Mel and she'll have left the phone. She'll be in the bathroom. She'll have left the phone outside, and the kids will slide the FaceTime door under.
You're talking to the kids on FaceTime on my phone.
Yeah.
I go to the bathroom. They slide the FaceTime phone under the door.
It's so funny every time. Oh.
I'm going to kill you all.
Anyways, thanks for the email, Blake.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to that episode, everyone. I want to give a special shout out to our As Essential as Oils patrons. That's our $25 a month and up patrons. Thank you guys so much for your support of the podcast.
Absolutely. We've got Averill Griffiths,
Adam Bush,
Allison Nelson,
Bonnie Galindo,
Carrie Teague,
Caroline Crimmins,
Code to Grow,
Courtney Eibling,
Dem Eris Diaz Stevens,
Dave and Melissa Cox,
Dave Hoagland,
Isaac Teron,
Jason White,
Jennifer Ashley Downs,
Jordan Cowan,
Juliana Smith,
Lori Amos,
Matt and Sam Slosdom,
Nathan and Jennifer Merritt,
Nicole Carraz,
Rachel Wilson,
Rachel Kennedy,
Robert and Nellie Capin,
Stephen Mena,
and Tiffany Payne.
Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to us.
Thank you.